together. It was, and they're trying to get us all ideas for marketing. And one guy was talking about sending catalogs out, and the other guy was talking about direct emails. And I just said, why can't we just get a guy dressed as the Incredible Hulk in front of the store? And was like, why? I'm like, well, I mean, it's like effectively a giant banner.
My goodness.
And they haven't invited me back to a marketing meeting since.
It would have helped, when you paint yourself green, it helps to wear pants.
Why did they invite you in the first place?
They saw my wife, and they saw what I look like, and they figured I could sell anything.
Good answer.
She must be right.
That makes sense.
I think there's drugs involved. I hope they're mine.
Hey, can we say out loud, T-Man is gone when T-Man is gone?
I mean, that reminds me of the episode of The Simpsons where Homer suggests...
There he is.
Wow, I'm getting like a double feedback here.
It's like getting two office reviews at once.
You'd think this is shit we would have worked out before the show started.
I know, right?
You would think.
Welcome to Figure Action. We are professionals. We're live, Matt. We're live.
Where are we getting the double feedback?
I think in many show descriptions. I don't hear it.
Was it T-Man?
It was T-Man.
He's gone.
It was probably.
And we're taking auditions.
Nope, we're not getting it from T-Man.
Dave, it might be Dave.
I don't hear any feedback.
Maybe it's Zero then.
It could be. There he is.
He's sideways.
Yeah, my screen.
Well, you know what?
Turn your camera. Turn your camera 90 degrees.
No, can you just make it so you're upside down?
I don't know how.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Figure Action Podcast. We are a new semi-new action figure podcast here to talk about the positivity of nerd culture. I am not your host, but I'm trying to get things up and going. True Star Screamer. And with me, we've got the usual crew. Okay, I don't know the rest of the script. Zero, take over.
All right, so yeah, we've got the usual cast of characters here tonight. I am your host, Extra Zero. And no, I haven't moved yet. I'm actually here at my girlfriend's house. We are in the middle of moving. And so that's why the room looks different. And yeah, she's here. I mean, I can call for her. I can be like, hey, Lex.
I'm just wondering, maybe I'll watch the background real close.
I'll just ask her to bring me a drink. How about that? Anyway, we're coming to you live once again on YouTube because it's Thursday. It's 9 o'clock. And of course, as always, be sure to participate in that live chat. Be sure to hit that like button if you like what we're doing. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see when we go live and our other shows when they pop up. We will be doing one for the Bumblebee movie. I know we've been talking B-sides, but we will be doing one for the Bumblebee movie, sharing our thoughts there.
So Bumblebee side?
Bumblebee side. We'll actually be seeing it on Saturday as a group of Sans Whack. I'm sorry. You are invited, Dave. Don't think you're not. And of course, you can check out all of our old content on YouTube, on Podbean, on iTunes, and on the Google Play Store. And we'll be getting all those updated relatively soon. Anyway, without further ado, since we've kind of had some technical difficulties getting started, let's go down the panel, find out how everybody's doing. I know it's probably been a hectic week for everybody, getting ready for the holidays. Starting out with True Star Screamer. How you doing tonight, buddy?
It's Thursday. I'm here. I've got beer. Life is good.
For a second, I thought you were going to write something else with beer. I was a little worried.
We've already done this gag. Catch previous episodes.
Oh, boy.
We've jumped the shark. Now we're reusing old material.
We've jumped the Shark-Decon.
We'll have a clip show. Don't worry.
Top 10.
That's what we should do when we can't do a show. Is we just get a clip show ready. Have somebody comment, yeah, that was an original show. I had no idea NECA was coming out with stuff. It wasn't on the Toy Arc page. Next up on the panel is Mr. Joe Crab. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. If you're wondering why I'm staring around my office here, it's because I only have 8 figures here on my top 10 list. I'm trying to come up with 2 more.
I thought it was because you didn't have glasses and you didn't know what the hell this.
I can't see anything. Where's these voices coming from?
Well, very cool, very cool. But otherwise, other than those figures, everything going good.
Doing good. And T-Man, you're back. Your resolution now is like 4K. It's the best I've ever seen it. Don't move.
And he's right side up.
But now we're getting audio feedback.
It sounds like sonar, though. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
One thing only, please. Well, how are you doing, Zero?
I'm doing pretty good. Today is the start of my 5-day vacation. So I'm ready. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready to see the Bumblebee movie with you guys. I'm ready to exchange gifts. I'm like super happy to have notifications turned off on my phone. I worked a 90-hour week last week, a couple of nights until 2:30 a.m. last week, and then up again at 7. So everybody was trying to get stuff in, all the IT changes in. So yeah, it's been good. But next up on the panel is Mr. Partsformer himself. Matt, how are you doing, man?
Hi, everybody. Just breaking news. My wife just bought me a beer in response to Dave having a beer. So there's that.
Oh,
here's the trend setting.
I am off work until January 2nd. So
wow.
I hate you all.
I'm going to find out. I just sent a text. Can I get a beer?
But no, Dave, I did my lot in retail for years. So I was there with you, man. Like I worked my Black Fridays and I did my my double shifts and now I get almost 2 weeks off for Christmas. So that's where I'm at. I'm not even going to complain and bitch about being tired. I actually feel pretty good because the Christmas shopping is done. The wrapping is not. Fuck the wrapping. I hate wrapping, but that's going to happen eventually.
Sorry for
But
the group chat the other day.
What's that?
Sorry for the group chat the other day then.
Yeah, that was awful. But the best kind of awful. That's all from me. Moving right along. Wait,
right.
Go to T real quick. We got.
Well, T,
no, he's locked up.
He looks like a Getty image. Like,
yeah, wait, let's bring that up real quick. There's. We can't. It went away.
Yeah, that's not there.
That looks like a postage stamp almost.
It does.
Like a special edition.
I didn't have time.
Adrian said the TNT man does not stand for technical. I think I agree with him. There he is. Quick, T, tell us how you're doing. Quick.
I'm doing good. I have 1 million hours that I need to use, so I could have been off all week like everybody else, but I didn't because I was stupid and lazy to put the time in. I mean, to request it.
I'm gonna say, wouldn't the lazy mean you would put the time in to not go to work?
That's what it normally means, but it takes effort to put the time in.
Okay.
So you're just gonna do nothing on the job and say take it out of my vacation?
I wish I could do that. It's gonna be like everybody's off except me and a handful of other people. So it's gonna be like when everybody at school goes on a trip, but you're still in the classroom, looking dumb.
Look at this. Your resolution. Joe was right. You're sitting there in like 4K. Like I can see your fucking pores. But then your connection will just crash and you'll be gone. How is that possible?
I don't know. If my phone feels super hot right now.
Look at that. We can see your fingerprints. Like I could rob a bank now with your finger. Yeah, see? Craziness.
Let's see. Can you see Grump's face?
I can.
We can.
He looks quite grumpy.
We can change that.
Is it just me, or does Gears look like Ernest Borgnine?
That's just you.
I forgot who that is.
That is just you. Did you ever watch Airwolf? He was the guy in the... No, that was Dominic Santini. Kelly's Heroes, a lot of World War II movies.
Yeah, going right over my head.
He's just feeling up the toy. Don't worry about it.
His head rotates, even though it doesn't look like it. Anywho, I'm good. I just need to take some damn time off.
You do?
Maybe in January.
All right. Now let's get into what we got this week. Starting with True Starscreamer, because I know you got something.
Yeah, got a couple things worth mentioning. Some I can't reach right now. Ended up getting.
All right.
I got some cool stuff. Like I got a Figure Arts Captain Phasma from The Last Jedi from a very cool guy. I'm not sure if I should mention his name or not. For some reason. Okay, I got it from Extra Zero because you guys are awesome. I also ended up getting somehow a second Sakura. I got her twin sister. So I immediately boxed the first one up, and we'll figure out what I'm going to do with that. So this is the second one I got that I'll be putting on display.
So you're not going to keep two? You're not going to keep both?
Well, I mean, what can I really do with two Asian schoolgirls at the same time? I really can't think of anything that I would be doing with two Asian schoolgirls and with midriff earrings.
Do you have cups?
I've got the Titan Returns one, and I've got
the
Generations. Why?
So you can do two girls, one cup with a K. There's a market for it.
I'll have to let me Google that. I'll see if I can find anything interesting about that.
Yeah.
No.
And then finally, and for those of you paying attention, no, I'm not that clueless. I did get my hands on Power of the Primes, Optimal Optimus. So, with the exception of the either Alita 1 or Starscream, which I still can't get myself to buy, I have pretty much all of Power of the Primes. I'm very happy. And this is a very cool figure.
You never got Alita 1?
I just that torso mode just it's so fugly.
He's gonna fight you on that.
Mm-hmm. She's awesome.
I mean, if they come out with a fourth combiner limb, I may have to track her down.
Retgar.
I mean, technically, they are coming out with those two. They're coming out with the toy
Green Light.
Yeah, and Green Light. So, which kind of makes me wonder. I'm glad Chromia got a complete retool, but I'm sure now you're gonna have people going like, "Oh, wish Chromia had a combiner port."
I'm just saying. I think it would be kind of cool because then if I could get her, then I would have to track down Victorion because I think it would be kind of neat having two complete female combiners. But yeah, that's what I got this week, and yeah, I really am liking Primal.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I like the Prom King version myself. Happy to get him. He's a cool mold. So.
Pimp Daddy. That's what I call him.
Well, if you want to pimp daddy him, you need the Madcap hat. And there you pimp daddy him right there.
Oh, you need the scepter though.
I'll figure something out.
All those Marvel Legends, I'm sure you got something there that'll fill in.
So that's my haul for the week.
Very cool. Very cool. Moving on to Mr. Joe Crab. Joe, did you get anything cool this week?
I did. I got two things this week.
Was one of them a cup?
It was not a cup. Mezco Popeye.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. And if you've seen our Instagram page, I did a little photo shoot with him and Bulma and Vegeta and how Vegeta lost his Bulma. Oh my God.
Vegeta.
And yeah, Vegeta. And then for my birthday, I got from my wife and my kids got me Goose Jumper. So, and I have not attempted the actual transformation with instructions yet. I attempted it without instructions, and I stopped.
That's the Ocular Max Hellion, right?
Yeah, Hellion, and it was it's just not one I can figure out. I actually managed to lately. I have figured out several transformations on my own, no instructions. Very proud of myself. They may have taken 2 to 3 hours to do.
Yeah, but those were McDonald's toys.
They were, but I'm making progress. But this guy, yeah, definitely don't try it without the instructions.
We should get you a Bad Cube figure.
You ought to just get like one of the Bad Cube Warpaths when they start getting sold.
Oh, why is that?
Because it takes forever to transform.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Oh, it would take me days then. If it's trouble for everyone else, I am the world's slowest transformer.
I hated that. That part took me like 5 hours to edit the transformation.
Would you say you're slower than Skids and Mudflap?
I'm gonna find a Revenge of the Fallen Mixmaster and send him to you, just to see what happens.
Maybe I'd try.
Because I still haven't finished.
Nate Simmons says, "Get you a speed bump." That's a Bad Cube figure. That. Oh man.
Admittedly,
all right.
It's not a skill issue though. It's a concentration issue, and Matt will tell you whenever he comes over and we hang out. And we have our little ABC. What are they? ABCs. I'm drinking. I talk.
Oh, hold on, time out.
I can't do 2 things at one time.
Oh,
yeah. You
can't just gloss over that. You got to be like that.
That's a you. Well, that's a you and me thing. We don't even know. But I cannot do 2 things, let alone 3 things at one time. What's when we talk about the alphabet? You're trying to teach me how to read.
We'll go with that.
Sip on baby bottles together.
Well, on that note,
Zero, you get anything cool?
Well, I mean, we can save me for last. I'm hosting.
All right.
I was going to say we can move on to Partsformer himself. Matt, did you get anything cool this week?
I had a pretty light week.
You got a Jesus. I thought that happens on Tuesday. That
was the second coming. No, I picked up the second volume of Final Fantasy Archive. It's got Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 in it, and it's the one I've been waiting for because Final Fantasy 7's my jam. So I got that, and that's it right now. I'm kind of on a hiatus because of Christmas and trying to not buy too much crap for myself. I do have something coming in the mail that I got on an eBay sale, but it's not going to be here until early next week. So no sense in me mentioning that anymore. So that's it. That's it.
Cool. T, how about you, man?
I got a bunch of stuff, but I can't show y'all because half of them belong to you guys.
Oh, that doesn't count.
But I got this little figure right here, Infy's Nest. Yeah.
You saw my comment, right?
She is quite cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the KSI Sentry. And they're on sale right now at Walmart, thank goodness. I probably would have left it there.
$15?
Yeah, I think it's 16 something.
Yeah.
And this is on sale on their website, but if you show them that you can put it in your cart on your phone, you can get it for less than $13. G1 Hot Rod reissue for the people that can't watch this. I opened it and I put them in there the right way. I heard somebody complaining about that, and I'm like, why are you complaining about it? Just open it and put it in there the right way.
But that'll break the seal.
Oh, they'd be all right.
It's probably a good idea to get a second one just because you put it away for 5 years, and that will go up in value.
I should get one.
Like Devastator's already like going for a couple $100, and
the Starscream I've seen for 70.
Yeah,
which is nuts. I feel like I got something else, but I don't know what it is. I think the other stuff was Christmas gifts for other people. That's not y'all. So that's it.
Well, are we going to go? I guess we're going to go live on Saturday when we do our gift exchange.
Are we?
We'll see.
I guess that's going to be a T-Man moment.
No, we can go live.
Does that mean it needs to be G-rated?
A special holiday episode of a T-Man moment.
I can see Joe's pores.
If it's a T-Man moment, then you can add like Mario noises all over. Anytime I'm like,
oh no,
fuck, that's cool.
Let's do live. Less editing for me.
There you go.
Unless I cry on live.
I think you're gonna cry this year. You were.
I might not be able to join. I might not be able to join the show, but I will definitely watch.
Yeah.
I think like compartmentalize. I think you guys know what I got for other people.
I don't think I have a clue. Like, so many ideas were thrown around, and so many private backroom chats happened.
Yeah,
and so many splintering off of the main group that I really can't keep track. I have no idea what anybody got anybody at this point. I have no fucking idea what I got you all, so I can't keep track of what you guys got everybody else.
I almost forgot your gift that worked, Partsformer.
I love you too.
When I found it, I looked in the bag. I was like, "Oh shit! I have Nate Simmons' Siege Sideswipe was in the bag all this time. I didn't mail it to him.
Oh shit!
So hopefully he gets it before Christmas."
Nate's in the chat, so he knows.
I told him earlier.
It's like, damn it, T-Man.
God damn it.
I completely forgot about it.
Wow.
Well, here's a preview, Nate. Sorry.
He opened it up and everything.
He tested it. T-Man tested. T-Man approved.
It's like, yeah, mine's got a loose arm from transforming about 50 times. So
you can tell everybody T-Man touched it.
Oh God.
You could even sign it.
That's what got Bill Cosby to trouble. Careful.
Yeah. See this smudge on my windshield? T-Man touched. I got a 23andMe. I got a 23andMe kit to figure out what this is.
Show us on the doll where he touched it.
So,
what did you get?
Oh, yep. Well, light week for me. I got I finally got my order for the Fans Toys Hydra, which.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you also got.
I forgot. Hydra.
That forgettable? That bad?
That excellent, well-constructed figure.
Everybody. Oh, crap. See, I keep forgetting what I did and what I didn't do for the last show. And because I filmed my own unboxing, I got Masterpiece Inferno.
You haven't put a review up for him yet, right? You're still working on it?
I filmed it, and it's uploading right now.
Okay.
I was going to say, you probably couldn't stop playing with it.
And then he got the figure out.
Like, this hose is...
Everybody knows.
Say, please tell me the gusher wasn't used.
Please tell me Palma's in the video, please.
Oh no!
Shout out to my friends at Nerd Out. Like I love whenever Randy talks about Inferno, he brings out like the footage. He has like a 1 second clip of Inferno with his hose on, just going.
I can't believe I forgot this guy.
I can't believe you forgot it either.
I think everybody knows I got it though, because they've been in my comments and not liking that I didn't say only nice things.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Are you a true Six Shot fan?
I
am.
My opinion's been controversial on him.
I have a story about Six Shot. Like the original G1 Six Shot, I was in the mall, and my grandmother let us stay in like the sub shop, and there was a Six Shot on the table, and it was just sitting there, and nobody knew who it belonged to and all this stuff. So I was like, well, if it's just here, I might as well just walk out the store with it. So as soon as I walked out, the guy who it belonged to saw me, and he took it back. So I've been wanting a good Six Shot for years, and I finally got one, I guess.
I mean, technically, didn't you get the Titans Return one?
He don't count.
Oh, come on! That was a solid Hasbro figure.
No, it was. It didn't even need to be a headmaster.
Watch my
Submarine
review.
mode at all.
Watch my review for that again.
Didn't I
Just
gift
saying.
that one to you?
I feel like I bought him.
Yeah, I gave you something for. I gave you 1 liter class
Plus.
figure from.
I know you
Jesus,
gave me
Lee.
what's the name? Grimlock Studio
Yeah.
Series Grimlock.
Yeah, Studio Series Grandma.
But the problem with the Hasbro 6-shot is I got him the same weekend I got MP 36.
Well, well,
Yes. So it was no comparison, and I can't even like lift his arm up. When I lift his arm up, it just goes bloop,
Yeah.
bloop, and the knees bend forward. This is way more, of course, a masterpiece compared to that.
So
But this is good. I only have a few issues, but let's get back to Zero.
yeah, so I got Hydra, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Mine has knees that are so bad it can be. Oh, thank you. That it can barely stand up. I tightened the screws, and I think that only caused tension on the knees. The elbows are just as bad as you described, and mine just has issues standing. It's a good looking display piece, but I really regret selling the DX9 Hanzo. I think had I like, and this again, I'll go on my own little side tangent. This is why I like to make the meetups happen so people can get hands on with figures. Unfortunately, with the way Fans Toys work, sometimes it's like you don't get it immediately. You might not get it at all. So it's like, I kind of have to go into it because I do love, in general, what Fans Toys puts out. So, for me, getting rid of Hanzo, it was like, I'm funding this figure, but I'm not really. It like becomes a wash, and I think Hanzo is a better figure in general. I kind of wish I got hands on with Hydra, and I would have just been like, I'm fine with what I have. Because those elbows, it's a pain to pose him. The leg transformation, like you nailed it in your review, T. I think it's way over engineered, and I really don't enjoy messing with the figure. And if you do, by all means, like not you, T, but like anybody listening, like great, you win. But for me, it's just not my jam. I just think it could have been done better. And I've had my fair share of 6-shot figures. I've had, MMC Hexatron. That's like an absolute treat to transform from mode to mode. Granted, I'm an MMC fanboy, so that says something there. And the DX9 one was pretty good. So, I'm just pretty disappointed. Though I do have to give a shout out to the toy guy, who's taken over for 215 Toys. If you can find his group, he is great to do business with, and I really appreciate that you got it to me so fast, Nick. Also, this week I got the X-Transpots version of Crosscut. So, and he's good. Though I generally like Savant, and I was glad that finally showed up. So, like my G1 cars are done, which I'm very, very, very happy about. Save for
you didn't send us pictures of Crosscut.
I did. Or
I didn't.
did
I missed it.
Probably did. I'll send him over to you.
I had no idea it was already out. That's nuts.
Yeah, he's Chosen Prime got him in like out of nowhere. Yeah, I put. I'm looking in the chat now. Like I sent a picture. Nope, I didn't.
So it's a picture of something else you sent, T-Man.
Oh no!
Oh god!
Didn't do that. I saw Bobby put
house.
this sword on here, but I don't know how he did it. He must have just put the one with the peg in it.
So we got some really cool stuff then this week, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. So
it's horrible.
Cool stuff this week. We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna start with discussions before news, and this may be our penultimate show of the year, so our listeners know, but it may also be the last show of the year. We don't know if we are not the last show ever. Of course, we'll be back in 2019 full force. We haven't decided whether we're going to take a holiday break next Thursday or not. It really kind of depends on how crazy the holidays are for us. We do have a guest lined up for next week if we are on. So Mr. Deluxe Baldwin will be our guest if we decide to do the show next Thursday. It just really depends on how the holidays go for folks and whether we can make the time work.
What does the chat say? Do they want us next week or not?
Yeah, we'll throw that into the chat. I'm sure we'll probably get an astounding yes. Do a show next week.
Yes.
One more thing. One more thing I did get. I got a package from my good buddy Lance Park. He told me that he wants me to open it on air, and today was a hectic day. Again, I'm not filming from home. So if we do go live next Thursday, as I promised to Lance, I will open that Christmas gift live on air. So our first discussion we want to get into our favorite figures of the year. And we're doing this as a top 5. And I just basically want you to list, it can either be in no particular order or if you have them ranked, your favorite figures of the year. I'd say let's go down the panel, but I want to make sure you're ready first.
I'm
Chris
ready.
Starscreamer. Oh,
We're all
Matt's
ready.
ready. Matt's ready.
Matt's ready.
I'll be ready.
Let Matt go. Matt's ready.
All right, Matt's ready. So I wasn't sure if we were going to do a top 5 or a top 10. So I have, we'll call it top 5 with some honorable mentions.
I did the same thing.
So I'll just real quick, in no particular order, my honorable mentions for the year is Magic Square Transporter, their Ultra Magnus. The Black Series Grand Moff Tarkin, not because he's so much an action figure as much as he is a stand there and judge you figure, but his the face paint and that real life tech on the face is I'm so glad they waited for that for Grand Moff Tarkin. He's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. If anybody's wondering why I picked an old man as one of my honorable mentions.
You may purchase him when ready.
Exactly. And apparently for $2.99 at Ross now, if you might manage to catch it. So
I'll be right back.
Transporter and Tarkin. The SHF Bulma, I would have her out to show you real quick in hand, but I have her precariously perched on a motorcycle right now, so there she's going to stay. Ocular Max is Stealth Azalea. I was surprised with how much I really liked her, and I'm glad I got her. And then the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set. So those are my honorable mentions for the year. So to start off top 5, I'll put it in the main window here. To start off top 5 is, and I had to look to make sure this came out this year, and it was well within the year. I think it was May. But the Iron Factory Cygnus. I was getting some feedback there. Oh, wait, now am I the only one that hears that, or?
No, I hear it.
I hear it.
Okay.
Your voice is so nice, we hear it twice.
I thought so. So this thing is amazing. Iron Factory Cygnus is number 5. Let me see. My number 4.
You still hear the feedback?
Now we're good now. My number 4, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I couldn't decide if I was going to have my number 4 as Siege Optimus Prime or Siege Hound. So we're going to say Siege Optima Hound Prime. Both of them are going to be my number 4s. And I got to keep clicking back to my list because my memory is trash. My number 3 is the SH Figure Arts Goku Black. I can't get over how much I bought this figure before I saw the Goku Black arc, so I had no idea about him. I just knew that he was a hot commodity, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick him up. And this is everything that SH Figure Arts does right with the release, like alternate heads, powered up mode, blast effects, parts effects, charging effects. This has got it all. If anybody's ever on the fence on this and can pick it up, please do, because you won't be disappointed. Goku Black is awesome. My number 2 is a reissue, so I'm going to count it because this is the first time I've got him, is the Fans Toys Grinder. It's the Grimlock that I always wanted. I've heard this is the only Fan Toys thing that I've ever really handled at the time that I got it anyway. And I've heard mostly good things, but I think everybody pretty universally says that Grinder is one of the best. Is that agreed?
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm glad that he is
Yes.
I'm glad he was my first fan of toys, and I am thrilled with it. And my number one figure of the year, and this was easy. I didn't wrestle with this at all because this is the one that came to mind immediately. And this might be controversial, but I got to tell you, for my money, he was the best purchase of the year. And that is the X-Transbots Toro.
Nice.
He is my favorite figure of the year. If there's one thing that I always get out and mess with, it's him. I love the transformation. I don't give two shits about the backpack. It's fine. I love the weapons pack. I love the sass that he has.
The sass?
Yes, the sass.
Sass.
You can get, what he has, with the sass staff that he comes with, like you can get him in super sassy poses. You know. He is without a doubt fun to transform, fun to pose, looks good on the shelf, and is built really, really well. So he is my number one for the year. That is my top list. If I had to go, I think are we also doing the kind of most disappointing?
Yeah, just doing one disappointing figure.
All right, one disappointing figure. I still keep him. He's still a good figure, but I'm going to give it to DX9's Optimus Prime. They're Dutch. He's awesome until you move him, and then the hips fall apart, the knees are locked together. If he'd have had another QC pass or two, he would have been excellent. And he's still good, but he's definitely the one that I kind of cringe taking out to try to mess with because parts are just going to come flying off of him.
I've heard the reissue is out and they fixed all the fixes are on there.
Well, and to be fair, I did get fixed hips mailed to me, the fixed ball socket hips. The problem is that I had already thickened the pegs beforehand, so now the fixed hips that I got don't fit on it because they were shrunk down a little bit to tighter fit, and now I have to mess with it to remove the film that I put on to thicken them up. So once I do that and get the new hips on, maybe it'll be good. But
shrinkage.
But it needs a little bit of shrinkage. But that's my list. That's it. A little bit of everything. I had to go back and look to see when I got Cygnus, and he's definitely on the list. And I'm not even like a huge Jetfire fan, but
a good toy is a good toy.
A good toy is a good toy.
All right, who's ready next?
I'll go. I'm aiming at all these people.
I figured you're a little ready to go. I mean, I had like an inkling.
I haven't made a decision on rankings and whatnot.
It can be in no particular order.
When I do my final ranking, it may be Toro, just like Partsformer said, because I'll probably play with this thing the most out of anything up here.
Yep.
And that's how I grade my stuff, not on how it looks or how expensive it is. What I play with the most and what I have the most fun with, and he's really great. But him, of course, Downbeat, Inferno, Deluxe Bike Robo, and Cyclonus. I like them the most, but definitely these three Autobots. And I'll put all four of them together, and he's like a distant number 5. Now these guys, the Bad Cube Lamborghinis, I like them at first, but the more I play with them now, especially Red Alert, they get on my nerves because, like, the chest doesn't stay together, and then there's this gap. And Red Alert, his problem is his arms aren't as posable as Sideswipe. Sideswipe has jointed elbow. It is double jointed. Oh shit! Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
You.
Bad Cube had to personally.
Yeah, they must have. Like these heel spur or lack thereof heel spur, I can barely get him to stand up, and his arms don't bend as much.
So are these still on your top 5 though?
Oh no, the top 5 are these 5 right here. For right now, the end of the year hasn't happened yet.
Right. So
stay
for those
tuned on my channel.
For those listening, we've got Turo, Quietus, Make Toys, Downbeat, Inferno, Masterpiece Inferno, and then the what are the Action Robo?
Action Robo.
Yeah.
DX Bike Robo Cycle.
And do you have a most disappointing for the year? So is that the
most disappointing will be Fans Toys Lupus. That thing, I think it's horrible. Like whatever bit, I still like what's his name? Hydra. He just has certain issues with.
I think we lost him.
I think so too.
He's been hacked by the third party altogether. Hydra,
Fans Toys and Bad
Fans Toys
did like a double. They doubled down on him.
Oh.
All right. So I think we got the gist of T's list. I didn't mean to rhyme that. Star Screamer, how about you, man?
All right, so my honorable mentions, I am going to give it to Power the Prime leader Optimus Prime. I've got an echo, T-Man. Power the Prime's leader Optimus Prime. That figure still, I think, for Hasbro, really did show everything they could. They've given me a figure the size of Masterpiece. So that one really impressed me. Second, I have to give my honorable mention to Mattel's Harley Quinn multi-universe, just because they really did finally break their bad streak. It was a very impressive figure for what Mattel has been offering. Third, I have to give the entire Pacific Rim Robot Spirits line. They get a full thing because they suckered us all into it. We all bought it. We all had a lot of fun with it. Fourth honorable mention goes to the Solo Chigokin Dragon Zord. It's cool. I just don't mess with it a lot, but oh my god, it looks gorgeous. So those are my 4 honorable mentions. For my top 5 figures, in no particular order, I got to give it to Revoltech Carnage. That I absolutely love messing with. It just looks visually stunning. I also have to go with Storm Collectibles Goro. It's a beast of a figure. I don't care what you say, Zero.
I wasn't going to say anything.
But it's just impressive to look at. It's impressive to handle. It's this beautiful execution on there. Third, I got to go with the Unrustable Bastards. Absolutely, Atomo is a fan figure, but just the regular Unrustable Bastard is just a beautiful modular system. That was 4, right? That was 4.
That was 4.
Yes, and for my fifth and final figure, I had to. I kind of changed things up, but I'm going to go with Figure Art Sakura. A figure so nice, you should have her twice in your collection. But no, jokes aside, this really is absolutely a perfect figure, and she just hits these natural poses that. I know people like Figmas and stuff for their anime girls, but it's kind of like what you guys were talking about with Goku Black. I've given Figure Arts a lot of flack this year, saying how they were kind of one of those companies that took quality for granted, but this is one where they really stepped up their game.
Oh, yeah.
Back to Figure Arts being, okay, dude, it's Figure Arts.
Hey, do you have Chun-Li?
I do have Chun-Li. I've got everyone except Rashid and Armika.
Rashid is cool too. Whenever I do my humanoid figure list, he's going to be on there.
I'm tempted for Rashid, but I've got no need for Armika in my collection. I never use her in the game. I'm not a fan of her design, so.
Oh, I'm a fan of her design.
I'm a fan of her design.
Hey, Matt, high five.
That's the one with the boobs hanging out?
The butt.
Yes.
Yes to both. Does she? I never noticed.
Yeah. And Dave, do you have a most disappointing figure of the year?
It's hard to say most disappointing.
T-Man. He's gonna say
Bumblebee. You didn't like that deluxe studio series Bumblebee.
You know what? I was trying not. Actually, no, not Bumblebee. Jazz. Easily. Deluxe Studio Series Jazz. Bumblebee at least can hold a pose. Jazz can't hold the pose for mine. He's got. Let me see if I got him over here. Yes, I do. He still has this arm that just flops.
See, I didn't have those problems with mine, but that's.
I just can't get it up. It just keeps going limp whenever I try to. For those of you listening, I'm talking about the jazz figure here. So go on YouTube and watch this.
Put it away. Put it away.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh crap! I almost went. Oh, I did leave out Marvel Legends thing. Oh my god! How did I leave that thing out?
So you go from talking about it being limp and can't get it up to your thing.
Your favorite
to the rock hard one, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm not helping out here, but that's absolutely, yeah. That's.
What about that first Sakura that you got? You really didn't. You were disappointed with that one. You went on a huge tirade of all those customers.
Yeah, he was saying how the second one was so much better.
We can't repeat that language.
No, because we want to stay monetized for 2019, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We're how many subscribers to go?
Like 700.
A whole bunch.
Wow.
Recommend us to friends.
Right, yeah.
Add it to your Farmville invites.
I think we'll be making a bigger push to get our brand out there in 2019. So we'll have more on that when we get to our first show of the year. As for me, to keep things moving along, I'm going to start off with my honorable mentions. And I have a ton of honorable mentions, but I'm just going to go down the line. These are figures that I had trouble just where I couldn't put. Originally I was going to do top 10, but there are a few on here that take it over 10. In no particular order, the Figuarts Gladiator, Thor, and Hulk. They're amazing figures, and I really can't wait to get those two on a shelf. If I were to get rid of all of my Figuarts, my Marvel Figuarts, those were the two that I just could not part ways with. The Marvel Legends Days of Future Past set with the Sentinel and Old Man Logan. Sentinel has some articulation issues, but it's a set that ticks so many nostalgia boxes for me.
And you got that at a more reasonable price.
I got it at a very reasonable price.
It always makes it a lot better. Yeah,
for a little more than the cost of a couple Marvel Legends. You got this big, huge Sentinel, which was really, really awesome. My next one is just Siege as a line. Now, the Siege Optimus Prime, I almost put on my top 5 list. There was a lot that came out, so I left it off. But just Siege as a line, it's such a huge turnaround from the Combiner Wars trilogy, and it really just it restored a lot of faith that I had in Hasbro doing Transformers. Next up, and again, this was one that I really had a hard time not putting on my top 5, is Figuarts Sakura. Basically everything Dave said, it's pretty much a perfect Figuarts. And my last honorable mention is the New Age Flipper.
They call him Flipper.
That thing is just a perfect little Bumblebee. And, I keep that figure on my desk. I enjoy messing with it. I really, really, it really just ticks all the boxes for what Bumblebee should be. On to my top 5. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm not filming from home, so I don't have anything with me. Number 5, and this is going from, to the best. Number 5 is the Astrobots. Lumping them in together since they're kind of the same thing. These are, in my mind's eye, perfect action figures. I have nothing bad to say about either of them, other than the fact that the one, I think is it Argus? Yeah, Argus. The LED on him just doesn't look all that great, but fuck it, it's an LED. Who cares? The articulation on them is basically perfect. They have really, really cool designs. They're so much fun to handle. Like Figuarts, they just have no problem falling into a pose. I mean, for Christ's sakes, you can balance them on one hand. They are like robot action figures that I would have died for as a kid, and they have great shelf presence. They're made of great materials. You know, they can be played with. They're just perfect action figures, and if it weren't for all the cool stuff that came out this year, they'd be higher on my list. Next up is one I got to give a shout out to my buddy Oscar. This is a grail piece for me, and it's a great figure all around. Now, T had Downbeat on his list, and my number 4 is G2 Downbeat from the Toronto TF Con. And my good buddy Oscar Alonso, he got one of these for me at the convention, paid retail for it. I love G2, and I love this deco for Jazz. So cool and crisp. And I mean, that figure has some shelf presence. The package has shelf presence. It's just so fun to flip that figure back and forth. And I'm so glad to have that figure in my collection, and have a story behind it with a friend. It's just really awesome. So Adrian says, you never shout me out. Adrian, we got to shout you out, buddy. We always enjoy you popping by, and we miss having you on the show. So big shout out to you.
Taobao stopped paying us checks.
Yeah, they did. My number, and Sportimus, yes, you can repackage it. It's designed so you can take it out of the clamshell if you so choose. So that's another really cool aspect about it. My number 3, and this was hard because this so could have been my number 1, is the Masterpiece Dinobot. Dinobot was hands down my favorite character on Beast Wars, and to have the representation of him, and it's a figure that has a really intuitive transformation for what it is. I guess it gets my number 3 because of the way the elbows are engineered, and the price. It's not
weak ankles.
Mine didn't have weak ankles, thankfully. But again, that's where QC varies, and QC is a hell of a thing because, like, I got a perfect Studio Series Jazz, and Dave's is all flippity floppity. But but no, the Dinobot for me, he's a great figure to mess with. I really love the presence of this guy. He looks like he just walked off the screen, and it's so cool to have that representation of the character on a shelf finally after all these years. Number 2 is the Perfect Effect Mega Dragon. Again, QC Teletech is but my buddy TJ Kuma Style, he did not like this figure at all. But I love it. I think it's hands down the best displaying figure.
Number 2?
It's my number 2. Let me get to number 1. But it's my number 2. Like, again, Zeta Bruticus didn't make the list, and that figure, it's amazing on the shelf. Mega Dragon, he's a little spiky, but he's cool to pose around. I think he accomplishes a lot in both of the modes. I don't count the car mode, but again, it's cool to have that representation of the Dragon Megatron. He looks like he just walked off the screen. The paint is so impressive. The sculpt work is so impressive. The wingspan's impressive, and they managed to put little Easter eggs in there and give him accessories he didn't have in the show, like the switchblade in his wrist, and the way he stores the extra face, and even the smirking expression on his spare face. It's a beautiful figure.
The swords.
The swords, yeah, that's what I'm saying, with the Easter eggs, and they've got the Beast Wars eye painted on the hilt of the sword. It's such a cool figure to have, and it's like, what a time to be collecting when you can go out and purchase something like that. My figure of the year, and this one may be a surprise, it's the Unique Toys Challenger, and to me, this is a perfect figure. It's I'm not the biggest fan of Age of Extinction or the Last Night. I'm a big Optimus Prime fan. And this figure it looks like it walked right off the screen. It has the best transformation that I've ever, experienced on a masterpiece style transformer, masterpiece scale transformer. It has no kibble in robot mode. It has no visible robot parts in truck mode. The detail on it is amazing. It's durable. It's posable. It's got LEDs. It's got weapons. It's an amazing figure, and I love flipping it back and forth. I love posing it. I would love to have a second one so I can have him set up as Nemesis Prime, but I can't wing that at the moment. But I just that's a figure that I really am super glad that I have in my collection. It's one of those figures that if I ever had to downsize, it would never leave my collection. So yeah, that's.
Can he tell you that he's Optimus Prime?
He doesn't talk, but his eyes light up, and that's enough for me. And the blue LEDs are a hell of a thing. Nathan Simmons, he actually just bought one. And Nate, I need to know how you're liking that thing, man, because I know you were waiting to open it up. But yeah, that is my figure of the year.
So did anything let you down?
Yes, and it's funny, when I say that Sakura is a return to form for Figuarts. My most disappointing figure of the year is a Figuarts figure, and that would be the Ant-Man with the flying ant.
I was going to guess that.
Yeah. I got that figure. I got it at a really good price from Toyco. And I opened it up, and it was just so disappointing. Like, pieces of Ant-Man were falling off. Like, his shoulder piece was falling off. His kneecap fell off. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Then, assembling the ant was a pain in the ass. And, in all the pictures, the ant looked like it was posable when the ant is really just a big, it's a big vinyl figure with a very limited articulation. I think just two of the legs are on ball joints and the others are on hinges, and the wings don't look right. The wings are made out of like thin plastic, like the window of a box, and it's just cut out with like a vein pattern, like really poorly tampographed on it. And Ant-Man just doesn't really sit on the ant right, and the handle for the ant, his hands are made out of a hard plastic, so you can't really grip it. And if you do force it on there, you cause paint scraping on the handle. It's just really awful. And there's really no good way to display it. Like, to get the antenna in for the ant, you have to really force it into the vinyl, and you're probably going to mar the vinyl pushing it in all the way. It's not good. It's really not good. And it's like, I haven't seen anybody other than D Amazing really review it. And it just...
D Amazing can make anything look good.
He can. He really can. But it was like, after I got that figure, I was like, man, do I even really want to keep doing the Marvel Figuarts? Should I just get out of this and just move?
Jeez.
Well, no, really. I mean, like, because for that price, I could have just gone and got the Ant-Man wave. I could have got Ant-Man, Wasp, and basically built what's his name, Obsidian Call for that Ant-Man. So
we'll say Marvel Legends Ant-Man. It's worth seeing just for that Paul Rudd head.
Right, and you don't get a Paul Rudd head. That was the other thing that pissed me off about that Ant-Man, is that he doesn't have any face. He doesn't have any honeycomb pattern on his visor. He doesn't have eyes sculpted in. It's just translucent red plastic, and like a flat piece of plastic behind it painted silver to make it look reflective, and it looks terrible.
Skip Ant-Man and Captain America.
Yeah, but I would say Ant-Man is far more disappointing than Captain America. Like, Captain America, he has a very questionable likeness to Chris Evans.
Super questionable.
Yeah. But
it's not even a question. It doesn't look like him at all.
The only thing I can say about Captain America is it still looks better than the Marvel Legends one, and it's cheaper on the scale of Figuarts. But yeah, Figuarts really this year with the Infinity War line, it seems like they were really hit and miss. And it's like Black Widow. I really want to get Black Widow. I'm hoping somebody gives that to me for Christmas. So I asked a few people to put it on my list. And hint.
Thanos was amazing.
Thanos was really amazing. Iron Man was particularly amazing. Iron Spider was good. What else did I get? I can't remember if I got any more. Because because Rocket, Doctor Strange, and Star-Lord were basically the same, so I didn't bother with them. So anyway, moving on to our regular discussion.
I didn't go yet.
Oh, Joe, holy shit, I'm so sorry, dude.
No, it's okay. My honorable mentions are, in no particular order, SOC Mazenkaiser.
Ooh, good job.
MPP-10Z, the Figuarts Goku Saiyan Raised on Earth, mainly just because it was awesome of them to update that sculpt and put it out at the price that they put it out, and the price was so good I got 3.
Dang.
Another Figuarts Bulma, definitely going to make my honorable mentions, and even though he's fairly new, Mezco Popeye. I really do love this guy, so I had to add him to my list. Yeah. My number 5 is going way back, early in the year. Make Toys Thunder Manus. That thing is just plain awesome.
Made my list.
Yeah, I had to put him in there. Number 4 is Fan Toys Grinder. And number 3 is SH Monster Arts Burning Godzilla.
Ooh.
He's one of my favorites, and I get a lot of compliments on this guy. If you ever could get just one, this is the one to get. It's the absolute best one, if you can find him. Number 2 is the NECA Turtle set. And my top figure of the year required no thought whatsoever, because this thing is just super solid. It's amazing in every single way, has no issues, and that is the TFC Commander.
Ah, shit, yeah, that's an honorable mention for me. I forgot about it.
It is extremely, I mean, the playability with this thing, everything you can do with it, I can't really think of anything they really, the eyes are a little dead maybe, but if they put lights in it, that would be kind of cool. But it's hard to nitpick and find issues with this thing.
Is there a way to hide that cable on the gun?
Yeah, you can tuck it. You can tuck it up in a little compartment.
There's a compartment.
I thought it was going to be Queen of the Underboob.
Yeah, see, you can't see it on there. I don't know if you can focus on it, but
I may have to ask you for pictures of how to do that, because I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, see it just right there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well.
So yeah, that thing is I just find myself messing with this thing constantly. It distracts me from other things that I should be doing, actually. And my most disappointing figure of the year, which is one I was really looking forward to, and not that we are probably joining up and picking on Figuarts, but the SH Figuarts Henry Cavill Superman is just an atrocious. I mean, the pictures of it looked great. You can tell, like, if I didn't know any better, I would say it's a knockoff, but I know it's not. There are parts of it.
Looks like he hit the windshield of a plane.
Like the hips on this thing are just terrible. You get that hip lock with it. You just can't really do much with it. The waist swivel, if you go too far, he pops in half. The neck is about 3 necks too long, and the proportions are all off. I mean, this thing is just, I don't understand what they were thinking, but this thing is just, it's really bad. And for, what was it?
Give him more neck. No, give him more neck, I say.
Yeah, it's just terrible. For a $50 or whatever it was, it's embarrassing. But he's still on my shelf.
Earlier?
No, actually, I was playing with the Mezco Classic Superman. Yeah, and since it's very fitting because everyone says I look like Lex Luthor tonight, I hate Superman.
that is fitting.
Give that man some figure.
Can you bring the Mezco one Saturday?
What's that?
Can you bring the Mezco one Saturday?
Yeah,
if possible.
Mm-hmm. If I remember.
No, I mean he's gonna forget.
Okay, since we were
Actually,
all
that's what I
talking,
do. Is I had to bring Lance's box on Saturday, and that way I can open it live. I'll do that.
Lance is
Since we're all-
box.
since we're all
Lance's
talking about
package
how
for you?
much that,
Yeah.
since we're all talking about things about how much we loved, and of course the one thing that was kind of a letdown. I'm gonna blindside you guys. I want you guys to brainstorm right now and think of one figure you want from a manufacturer, just one. If they are listening to us right now, I want, hey, company, make me this figure for 2019.
That's easy. Me and Matt are thinking the same one.
Oh yeah, yeah we are.
What you got?
We need a Figma All Might.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
My runner-up would be a Figma Simon Belmont or Castlevania. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Zero.
It's easy. It's got to be a Takara Rodimus Prime. No hot rod mode. All in one, like Ultra Magnus.
T-Man.
I had a lot of stuff that I wanted is coming out, like that Gambit, Revoltech Gambit. I've been wanting a good Gambit forever.
All right,
And,
give me something that's not out. Give me the dream character. Do it for me, man.
You know what? I can answer for you.
Some type of Ryan Reynolds Deadpool.
Cool.
Oh, that's good. That's a good answer. Yeah.
They haven't released him.
Outside of Hot Toys.
Yeah, outside of Hot Toys.
Well, and for me, I want Mayfex to give me a Battle Angel Alita from the new movie.
Oh yeah.
They've been doing a great job with. They've been doing a great job with the live action movies, like with Kingsman, with John Wick, and things like that. I bet you they could get me an awesome Alita based off this new movie.
I think they're going to market the hell out of that when the time comes.
Grimlock in the chat says Pikachu with a Ryan Reynolds face, and I think you sir are that is a wonderful suggestion. I would buy that.
Give that man some figure action points.
Yeah, 2.5 figure action points to you, Grimlock. I'm keeping track.
All right.
One day we'll show you guys the spreadsheet.
One day.
Whoa. Hey.
Hey, one day. He didn't put a timestamp on it. So going into our discussion, I think we'll save the display one for when we have Deluxe on the show.
Yeah.
But got some news this week. I know for you guys that are collecting Marvel, the Legend Scale Transformers.
Jeez.
Iron Factory kind of knocked it out of the park. And
New
then
Age.
some. Yeah. So go ahead and let me share out some.
This is the year of Legends.
Next year. Both years.
Call them. They're the Legends of tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. Close out some windows here.
Even New Age little people.
And Magic Square. I mean, it's all looking good.
Pick your poison, man. They all have their own wheelhouse. So, and they all have their own wheel jacks. But you just pick which one you like and go with.
I pre-ordered the New Age Cosmos, the regular color one.
I was gonna say what flavor.
So yeah, here we go. We got some shots here.
There you
go. Now Iron Factory is coming out with some interesting ones off the bat. They're doing a new sound wave. It's kind of like a Cybertronian mode. Is this guy here? Is that Cliff Jumper?
That is, and that Cliff Jumper does nothing for me. I see what they're going for there, but that's a really easy pass. It's like a Cliff Jumper that's supposed to be like a Mini Cooper, I guess. And it's got his rocket launcher, and it's kind of invoking a little bit of Transformers Prime, a little bit of almost the Bumblebee
No, he was actually designed like that in one of the IDW comics.
Yeah,
I think it might have been his one shot.
it could be, but it still doesn't do anything for me.
That Soundwave looks a hell of a lot better than this Soundwave. The original Iron Factory. This is one of the 2 Iron Factory sets that I have.
Yeah.
I got the Soundwave and the Perceptor, and that thing looks. I'm getting rid of this.
My only problem with Soundwave is his best mode is the robot. Major compromises, even the tape deck.
But now
That's better than this thing.
Yeah, now we get into some more interesting offerings. We get a blue streak here, like a blue streak. Have they done? They did Prowl previously, right, Nat?
I think so. I think this is a remold, a reuse of the mold.
Yeah.
But I can't. I don't know. I never got it. I can't remember clearly. Obviously the bitstream there is a reuse, like their umpteenth Seeker, but that's par for the course.
They got to do all the flavors of Seekers to make people happy.
But then I like the Rainmakers, and they priced me out on the green one because it was like some kind of friggin' like Taiwan exclusive or something, and it was almost double the price. So I was like, I'm not doing that. And, but hey, Run Amok and what's the other
Runabout and Run Amok.
Runabout, yeah. How about that?
I think they're the first third-party offering for the pair.
Which is surprising.
And looking at the picture, like, how cool is that? And I know it's for the character, but how cool is that the orange shows up? That, like, I don't know, that's striking to me in robot mode. That orange just kind of appears around the torso and the neck area, and it's I love that. That's awesome looking.
Yeah, it creates a really
They
good.
They look really good.
That's the Sideswipe mold. I mean, Sunstreaker mold, right?
Yeah. 2 of the Sunstreaker molds.
But the car is stylized enough, doesn't look like a Lamborghini, so I think it works out pretty well. And then we get this kind of Nemesis God Bomber. I guess this is a remold of Steel. Was it Steel Lucifer?
Steel Lucifer is the Nova. So this is a version of that, and I can't. It was some kind of one of their I think they call him Commander something. I'm sure someone can correct me, but yeah, this is just the Nemesis version. Or what is it? It's not Nemesis. It's some other, like Thunder Erebus wasn't the Nemesis.
If it's got the teal, it's the Nemesis version.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah. If it doesn't have the teal, it's like the Nucleon Quest.
That's it. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Now here is where we get into the really interesting stuff, and this
is this tempting you?
This is tempting me because I love me some Beast Wars. And I really would like to see how this scales with the likes of, Masterpiece Megatron. Because, he's supposed to be a little bit smaller. And, if they're doing Legends Beast Wars and they make them, just smaller than Masterpiece, like to the point where they're Masterpiece scale, I'd have to jump.
They'd go with MPP-10.
They might.
You can reenact that scene even though it's not Transmetal 1 Megatron.
And then you can't reenact that scene.
I'm kicking John Guzzlers.
But this
no longer exist.
This looks so good. And I love the fact that just like the perfect effect, he has the option for 2 fists. I think that's so awesome. They managed to work that in there.
I haven't made up my mind on news.
And then this guy here. The only thing is he. I don't know if he's gonna. It looks like he'll probably be able to get the jet mode in there, but how could you make all 4 modes work at that scale?
No tank mode, right?
Yeah, no tank mode.
Well, to be honest, they didn't make all 4 modes work in normal scale.
So, but he does have wheels though on his calf.
Yeah. They may just be like for show though.
Maybe. I'd be suspicious. I am suspicious.
The thing is like the tank mode was the mode.
He should be able to turn into it. I think they scrapped.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They didn't scrap that pitiful beast mode. Sorry. Beast Machines reference there.
We lose T again.
Voice.
Well, anyway.
There was a bunch more.
I'm trying to pull them up.
There's a bunch more.
See, when you put stuff in the show, you got to throw me a URL.
I can't do it all.
I love how they just teased out the pre-orders today because I got an email saying, "Oh, they're for pre-order," and it was like 4 of them. I was like,
"What was
click, click, click," and then like 3 hours later, "Oh, now these 3 are up for pre-order." Click, click, click.
What was the other brand, Matt, that they're showing?
What is the other what?
The other Legends, New Age.
Oh, well, there's still also a bunch of Iron Factory stuff too. The Mirage Hound, Wheeljack, Megatron.
That Megatron looks awesome.
Do you have the link to them so you can share out?
No.
That would involve work, man.
I do work, just intermittently. Hold on.
Pull up that TF source link that I put in the
You
chat.
still haven't gotten Dan Larson on the show.
Yeah.
It's the holidays. The dude is busy. Like, he keeps calling me. When can I be on? I'm like, dude, we're busy, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Both of you guys in the chat, if any of you guys sub up to Toy Galaxy, spam him. We want Dan Larson on Figure Action 2019.
Actually, it looks like it was on the same page you were just on.
Was it?
There was past Optimal Optimus. There were 3 more pictures. I'm trying to bring it up. That's what she said. But while you're getting
there were. I apologize. Let me share out again.
The Hammer Zero.
Hey, this is what happens when you're in the middle of buying a house. It's Christmas, and you like to make.
I need a Waspinator.
I'm gonna buy that Hound so hard, just so hard. I love Hound, and I need it. I need it.
You and Spike.
Don't ask.
Yeah, Spike didn't have a choice. If you look at the meme, that picture, Spike was an unwitting. He's it was a dark time.
He got hijacked.
But I mean, these look good. And then who is it? Who is it is doing another Wheeljack?
Toy World.
Toy World. I got to say, this one gives it a run for its money. And these are somewhat, especially these 3 are somewhat less stylized than their previous releases. These are a little more on the nose. They're still kind of boxy, but I think the keynotes are all there. They look good. They look the part. And I don't know. It's almost like they saw Magic Square kind of hitting these high notes with these faithful G1 recreations, and these guys are, at least in my opinion, they look a lot closer to their G1 counterparts than previous releases, except maybe their Jazz was pretty close. But everything else was like a Cybertronian, like really angular looking vehicle. But these things look amazing.
They're going all over the place. IDW, G1, and the different timelines in IDW.
I think they kind of have their own style.
Not necessarily a bad thing. Don't like this style? We got another style for you.
Right.
Because like
I think that works. This guy.
Yeah. Now this is cool.
That is one of the few that's getting me tempted.
I don't even know what to make of this. I mean, I know the deal with it, but like this thing looks ridiculous.
It's $90, isn't it? $90?
Oh man, for a Legends class?
I think so. Hold on, it's expensive. It's expensive enough to make me pause.
Yeah. So for those listening, this is the Iron Factory City Commander Final Battle Armor, which is a beefed up version of Ultra Magnus with Minimus Ambus.
Yep, and, $90.
God,
jeez.
And one can only assume Minimus fits inside of there.
Yeah.
They don't show it explicitly here, but I can't imagine they'd go through all this without actually having that gimmick.
Well, if you think about it, Minimus is probably the size of one of their, like Bumblebee.
Right.
One of their mini-bots.
Their RC or something, yeah.
So that means that bad boy is probably... Jeez, he's big. He's gonna be big. I mean, he's like probably one of the size of one of their combiners.
Joe, does the listing have the sizes, the height?
Yes, it does. Figure stands 6.6 inches tall.
Really?
Okay.
The largest Iron
Is
Factory
that the
figure
head or
ever
the
made.
shoulders?
So
That's a big
yeah,
bot.
this has got a colored images of Minimus, but it doesn't show any additional pictures of whether or not he's inside them or not.
He's
'Cause
probably
if it's-
twice the size of Cygnus.
Yeah, Cygnus is about, what's that? What would you say? 3.5 inches, maybe?
4.
4.
and a half,
Probably
more than
around
likely.
4.
Insert
He's
penis
deluxe
joke
size.
here.
Now I'm
He's
sure
definitely
they're
deluxe
measuring. I think they're probably measuring from to the top of his head, because with his little shoulder pylon things and the gun sticking up, it's probably even taller than 6'6".
Yeah, I would hope that they're for that cost. Now, I'm out on that.
And you hope they're measuring while it's fully erect, too, not like hunched over.
Yeah.
I was ladies and gentlemen, for the record, I was avoiding those jokes. For the record.
They all know I just beat you to it. Come on.
I was going to ask you where you
The only
took the
thing I'm not
measurement
liking
from,
is those
but,
arms and legs look like they can't move.
Yeah, it looks like
at that price, they better move.
I don't know. I see an ankle I see an ankle rocker. Definitely knees there in the backside. Maybe 90 degrees.
They look like they move, but they look like they'll be tremendously hindered with all that girth.
Yeah. His forearms look kind of stumpy. I don't know. This would be one where I'd wait for the reviews before I jumped on. And who am I kidding? I'm not spending $90 on the Legends figure, but I'll pretend.
90. That's 90. Did you see the price on Megatron?
Yes, the 60 some, wasn't it? 64.
65. That's pushing it too.
That is, but let's go to the Megatron. Let's go to the footage.
Yeah.
I think Megatron will have as much stuff to be like Cygnus.
Megatron comes with 4 different robot mode assemblies, almost like calling back to the MMC Megatron, where you could configure it however you wanted to.
All of them are awesome except that tank.
And the tank is what it is. Like, I don't know. In my mind, I don't care what the alt mode is.
I kind of do, especially after getting Siege, and like the Siege Megatron has an awesome tank mode.
Yeah. Well, I'm not just for he's never going to be a tank on my shelf. And the way that G1, the upper right hand corner one looks, I don't know. Like, I can't argue that. That's what I'm buying there. That's what I'm in for.
How much was Cygnus? Wasn't he 60?
I want to say that's what I was going to say. Tell you what, just keep talking while I work my magic.
And this guy's costing $60.
65.
65.
65. Yeah. All right, let's have some fun here.
Cygnus is 65 as well.
So we all know how fanboys are. We all know how certain obsessive compulsive fanboys are. That would mean that we are looking at about someone's buying 200, so 265 times 4. So that's someone's going to buy.
No
all
one
buy
said
4
there'd
of
be
them.
math.
No, someone's going to buy all 4 of them. Is going to buy 4 of those at a time to display 1 in each mode.
Probably, plus maybe another one for the alt. You never know.
Maybe, but that's still going to be about 200. I mean, if it was $70. That'd be times 4. That's 280. So that's going to be $260 of revenue right there.
Jerk.
And I'll say too, like given the other Legends Megatrons that are out, this one is by far my favorite looking. Obviously, no one has it in hand, so we can't talk about it, what it's like. But of just pure aesthetics, this one is definitely my favorite. Definitely my favorite.
So I'm just saying it. So I'm just saying 200, and someone's going to be spending that. And multiple fanboys are going to be doing that. They are Iron Factory. Congratulations. You are printing money. Congratulations.
That's how Iron Factory won the internet this week, at least in my opinion.
Holy moly.
And then, yeah, like T said, New Age came out with some stuff. They put pre-orders up. It was 3 different Cosmoses, right? Yep. There was a standard color, there was a clear, and there's another one that escapes me. It was a blue.
Yeah, blue.
What is the story with the blue? I don't know.
Baja Fresh, Taco Bell exclusive.
I'll go with that. I mean, is there a reference to that? Is that a callback to anything?
We don't know.
Not really.
Was
I can't-
Cosmos ever blue? I mean, I know he's sad, navigating the stars by himself, but
Not even my nerd database can pull up anything of why Cosmos would be blue. That's not even like Marvel comic miscolor accurate or anything like that.
But New Ages, those are $25.
No, it's a GoBots homage to Pathfinder.
Okay.
Pathfinder was black.
Yeah,
black and gray.
I get that, but that's apparently what it's supposed to be.
Just saying.
Because I'm reading here that it's supposed to be a Pathfinder homage, and they
I haven't
did
picked up Rook in a long time. It feels like
okay. So I understand now. There is an eHobby exclusive repaint called Pathfinder after they got the name. So for whatever reason, the eHobby one was blue, even though the GoBots Pathfinder is black and red.
Gotcha. Okay.
So for $25, you're gonna get the figure itself, obviously, legend scale, but then you also get, it looks like you get a display stand that is what now become almost standard with Cosmos is you get a display stand that mimics a tractor beam or a what do you call it, a beam me up kind of
tractor beam.
Yeah, we'll go with tractor beam.
Now, I want to share it again because New Age is also doing their Megatron, and
that one looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I
bring that up again. That's a good point.
I agree. Not only does it look nice, but New Age is a company where they are way cheaper than.
Yeah, I retract my previous statement. That one could give. I could go either way. Giggity.
I see that's.
But that one might be. I don't know.
That one was like a baby MP.
Wow.
Yeah, forget what I said. It could be either one. It's like you said. It's going to depend on the price. If this price knocks the other one out of the park, then it'll be an easy choice.
Because the Bumblebee was under $20, which was no brainer.
Right.
If that one goes up to $35, $40, I'd easily say it'd still probably be worth it. Be pushing it around 40, but I could see, with those add-on parts,
Yeah, if anyone in the chat or anyone listening has not picked up New Age Bumblebee, if you have pants on that have pockets, you need to get New Age Bumblebee because it fits in those pockets and you'll want to keep it in your pants pocket to play with all the time.
And he can rest on Hound's shoulders.
Yeah.
So,
and then the Magic Square releases, they actually got one that's has my attention. Well, more than one. If you know what where I'm going with this.
We don't want to think about that.
And?
The Stunnicons?
Ah.
That actually looks really, really good.
Oh, the other Iron Factory one they didn't have on there was the Starscream cosplayer, the chick. That
Are there
I don't know what the deal is with that.
Just a placeholder anime image.
She's just awesome.
As long as they don't charge a crap ton for her, I'll pick that one up too.
You're gonna get it anyway.
Shut up.
And I know Jobby is gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
So is Joe.
What's Jobby gonna do now that Tumblr doesn't accept adult content?
Yeah.
He always has deviant art.
He does.
We can just go to Pornhub or wherever. Some legit porn place that does artwork.
I will PayPal you $5 for you to put a chill review up on Pornhub.
How could you
just
turn
to
that
see
down?
what the stats would be?
$25.
Now, $5. Just take one of your ones. Just send it up there. See what happens.
T, you'd be proud of me. I just pre-ordered that Cosmos live on air right now. Aren't you happy?
I won't be proud until you get it in hand.
Shut up.
Wow.
You're known to cancel a pre-order.
Speaking of in hand, I think it's pretty safe to say that we are all excited to see the Bumblebee movie.
Yes.
Someone this week actually no spoilers, but someone this week actually got an early copy of the brand new studio series Cybertron Optimus Prime. Granted, we came to find out that he is, he's not exactly a Cybertronian mode, but man, does this thing look awesome. This looks like...
I'm not sure he's from Cybertron, to be honest.
No. But it looks a little mistransformed, because we also have packaging pictures of it as well. Let me get that pulled up here.
How long do you think that Cybertron segment's going to be? Like 5 minutes?
I've heard like
5 minutes.
Yeah, in and about 5 minutes.
I think it's going to be
so much G1 nostalgia porn in it.
But honestly, like that doesn't, I'm hearing that the movie as a whole is good. Like here, he looks a little bit more properly transformed. We see his gun. We see it's an actual gun. It doesn't look like something that's popping out of his arm. He's got an actual Earth truck mode. It comes with the San Francisco Bridge as this backdrop. They could just do a whole line of these.
So, didn't they say that this was supposed to be like a soft reboot, sort of?
I think they were
find out
testing.
Saturday.
Yeah, I think they were testing the waters to see, how it was perceived. And I think now they're like, okay, this is a completely different thing from Michael Bay. The audience wants it to be a new thing. The Bay movies really lacked any solid continuity. They were kind of like the Fox X-Men movies where Emma Frost is a little girl in one movie and a grown adult in the next, in a movie that takes place before the first movie.
They're mutants. Like, it's craziness. Anything could happen.
That was our daughter.
Oh, yeah, that's a great excuse.
Michael Bay must be stopped, no matter what the cost.
I mean, what do you guys think of the whole idea of getting, we have the Siege line, and when we had John on the show, John kind of made that whole remark of, well, you look at Siege, they look an awful lot like the Cybertron scenes. So Nate Simmons wrote that as an Earth mode truck, and they confirmed it today. So, but John Bailey was saying, these look an awful lot like the Cybertron designs. It's kind of interesting, What do you guys think?
Well, remember also, John, because he now was able to put the announcement out of who he was voicing in the movie. So he's getting that Shockwave figure.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and we now know that John was in the movie. He was not Optimus Prime. He was Shockwave and Soundwave.
Which in itself is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I hope he has more than one line for Shockwave.
Yes, Lord Megatron. And he's out of scene.
Yeah. Follow them. Take them down.
Crap.
That's still more lines than he got in Dark of the Moon.
Did he have any lines in Dark of the Moon?
I don't think he did.
Oh my God, that was the biggest freaking...
No.
One of the many reasons I want to punch Bay in the face.
Yeah, he never even transformed. He just rode on that big worm.
Speaking of that, not riding on the big worm, I'm not going to give any spoilers on the reviews because some people are crazy about that. But I will say the one bad review that I saw on Bumblebee on the early reviews, the dude was like, he started off the review by saying something to the effect of, well, these aren't Michael Bay. This isn't Michael Bay. I wish I had the review up in front of you, but he's basically lamenting the fact that it had moved on from the Michael Bay verse, as a whole. I know it still is in universe, but they're starting to drift away from that. But as soon as I read that, I'm like, okay, so this is the one dude that does. I'm okay with that. Your opinion now. And as far as my book is concerned, I will disregard.
On that cliffhanger. The movie ended on a cliffhanger of Unicron coming out of the planet.
Oh, you mean the last Bay movie? Well, all Bumblebee had to say was Martha, and then Optimus Prime snaps out of his trance, and that's how that went.
Yeah,
that's how it went. Y'all don't remember that. Go back. You're misremembering.
I remember
that's what he
Bumblebee gets his voice fixed at the end of the first movie, and then suddenly he can't talk again, and he still can't talk, and then he can talk with radio, and then he finds a new voice box, but it's Siri that the weird Steve Buscemi robot sold him, and then at the end of the movie, despite having no voice box, he can talk again.
I mean, that's good writing. Right
That's
there.
fantastic writing.
But if you like the Bay movies, that's awesome. Then they exist as a thing for you.
There's a box set you can buy in the $5 bin at Walmart.
Basically.
I like the first movie, seeing when Optimus Prime transformed for the first time. That felt awesome. Most of the first movie was entertaining, it was good, and then they made the same freaking movie 6 times?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. I'm not sure how many of you guys are actual wrestling fans, like WWE and such.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. I am. I still actively pay attention. And basically, the way Michael Bay ran the movies is like Vince McMahon runs WWE. It's like we get the one guy comes in who's absolutely awesome. The crowd goes wild, and he happens to sneeze during one of the things, and the crowd, he's doing all this awesome stuff, and Vince McMahon will be like, "Make him sneeze all the time." That's what Michael Bay movies were. It's like, okay, we get an awesome plot, we get the giant robots, but there happens to be a scene where there's a fart, and Michael Bay's like, "Okay, that's it. Put 20 of them in the next movie."
Yeah, and make the buff like stutter and just act like crazy. Yeah,
make the mom do stupid things.
For the record, I don't hate the first movie. I have
neither do I.
I don't the first movie, but it's the angles, it's the fight scenes. Like when it's too like all of us here are Transformer fans and have some measure of Transformer expertise because we've been in it for a long time, and even we are hard pressed. Me, at least I'll speak for myself, hard pressed to figure out what in the hell is going on in some of these fight scenes with robots that we've known all our lives, redesigned, and the camera is right up their ass while they're in the middle of this giant fight, and they're all colored the same, and they all are overly complicated. You don't know what the hell is going on. Like, if they just would have just changed the hue on the colors a little bit, pulled the hell back with the camera, let us see what's going on.
If they would have made the robots more blocky instead of a whole bunch
So keep these thoughts when you see Bumblebee this weekend. That's what I'm saying. Keep these thoughts when you see Bumblebee this weekend.
Right.
From what we've seen in the preview, they did correct that.
Your internet's making you sound drunk.
Or they might be.
That's what you guys sound like to me. I had to keep cutting it off.
I thought you found that bottle of Hypnotic from 2007.
You're better now.
Y'all sound like that to me every 2 seconds. When Partsformer was talking, it was like... I'm crying.
Right, so everybody in the chat,
it's listening, at the 10:30.
It's going to be cow sounds for the next 5 minutes or so.
Well,
it's after 10:30.
All right, I get that. So I get this after 10:30. I want to hit one more news beat. I guess we do have a listener question. T, you are free to drop off at any point, unless we want to save this for next week.
We can hit it real quick.
Let's hit it. Let's do it for the fans.
Yeah, we'll do it for the. I do want to share out this one thing. We did see this week that Optimus Prime is getting a reissue, but it's without the trailer. It looks to be a Walmart exclusive.
For now.
Yeah.
I didn't see there was no trailer.
There's no trailer. I think it's probably to keep the cost down so you can sell for the same price as Hot Rod and
I'm calling it right now. There's going to be a Comic-Con exclusive with the trailer.
More than likely. But
I'm saying, what is today, the 20th? December 20th, 2018. David, True Star Lutwack is saying it's going to be a Comic-Con exclusive reissue with a trailer.
I think I will pick this up just for the sheer fact that it serves the point to be a G1 Optimus Prime I can put on my Optimus Prime shelf, and I don't have to worry about the trailer. And then when they do come out with that version of the trailer, that can stay in the box.
True.
You know.
Yes.
So
Hey.
I think
Oh
I
man, I didn't know that G1 Prime was that tall or that close to Siege Prime's height.
Yeah. Kind of
In 2 more years, that's what Voyager class is going to be. The G1 Prime height.
As long as they're made as sturdy as Siege Prime, I honestly won't care.
Dude, that's nothing. That's nothing. Where's my... again, reasons why I can't stand jazz as well. Here's Iron Factory Soundwave, which I had earlier. And there's jazz.
He was tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny.
He's just
they
tiny,
need a scout class in the studio series, in all honesty.
Yes, they do. And not be... I got this one on sale, but yes.
Does he easily rip in half?
There's a pen you can pick out.
What is cracking, little bitches?
Oh, I cringe so hard.
Jesus Christ. So we can let T go and we can wrap up our night and I can get on my vacation. Well, overnight, a question came to me from Night Wingham, good buddy Ed, and he said, I got a question for you guys. Do you think that buying MP44 is rewarding Takara and Hasbro for continuing to raise the prices on us? And
yeah.
Surprisingly, this is a mixed answer for me, because going back and looking at the original cost of MP10, and it's interesting that Hasbro has made mention there. The original cost of MP10 was $250, and that ended up coming down, to $100 when it hit the U.S. market. I think if anything, yes, we are showing Takara we're willing to pay some of these prices. However, folks going through HLJ and Amazon Japan, I think if enough people do that, it kind of sends the message, that more and more people are looking to get it at a discount. Yeah,
They'll find out when it goes on clearance at BBTS.
Yeah. No, it's kind of interesting too, because remember when Shockwave came out and he was expensive, and now retailers are selling him for $90, like Lavender Wave. This week alone, those cone heads, the official cone heads, BBTS has Ramjet with the shoulder error for $40.
Yes, that's nuts.
And then they have all three of the correct cone heads for $99.99, which is also nuts.
They were supposed to be like small exclusives or something. I thought, let me get that because that's going to sell out. And now they're still in there. They're still in stock.
So it's mixed, because I do think, it's rewarding Takara, but I think that Hasbro kind of knows a little bit better. I would hope Hasbro knows better. And I would like to see Hasbro kind of do what they did back in the early part of the decade when they, and you know what, honestly, I want to say something a little controversial here. I think Hasbro is the reason Masterpiece took off in the United States. I really do. Because if this was just a mail order thing, an import only thing, I don't think it would have the momentum that it has now if it weren't for the fact that Hasbro got these figures into Toys R Us, into Walmart, cheap and affordable, and they put them in packaging that really showcased the figure. I mean, the initial packaging for MP01 and MP10, Rodimus and Grimlock,
Starscream packaging. Oh my god, it broke my heart when I just sold my Seekers. But
so I never saw Walmart Starscream in person.
Oh, yeah, I never took him out of the box. He just looked so good.
Yeah, but I can agree with what Zero just said about Hasbro selling them at a cheaper price is what really helped them take off. Only a select few people would have imported them.
Yeah,
I told myself $100 for a Transformer. I can't do that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we still haven't gotten some of the major details. Like, I'm sitting here holding MP10. What if, for example, the new one is just for kicks, all die-cast? It weighs more than this guy does. I'm just being hypothetical here.
I think it's the engineering. From looking at that transformation, the engineering is crazy.
And I'm not saying. Oh yeah, I'm I mean, I'm not one of those people who's going to say wait for the KO. I'm not going to, I mean, I am fine. It took me forever to get MP10. I got him a couple years later. I don't believe in mocking people. If you want to wait for the KO, that's all you.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But I mean, I've got shelf space is limited. So if they want to get my money, yes, that thing had better knock it out of the park. I'm gonna wait for some of the reviews. You guys those cone heads, for example, you mentioned that one came out with a shoulder error. Heaven help! What if one of this guy comes out with an error at $400 price point?
That'll hurt.
I think the prices come down to 4 Ps: production, paint, parts, and Pokemon. Production being that they're apparently making these in the same factory that they're making Hot Toys in. The other thing too is there's a lot of speculation in whether or not the tariffs are eventually going to impact toy imports in China. I know some of the figures are still made in Vietnam, but my understanding is the new figures are actually being made in China, and I don't know if they're being sent to I don't know how any of it's working, but I've heard that they're being made in the same factories that 3A and Hot Toys are using. Paint, we've definitely seen a step up in the paint, not only in the paint itself, but we're seeing clear coats on figures, which I think probably adds to some of the cost. Part count, yeah, I mean, this figure comes with a shit ton of accessories. You can't argue it. It looks like Spike, Carly, and Sparkplug all have articulation rivaling those of the Diaclone pilots. And Pokemon,
I mean, diaphragm joints.
Absolutely, yeah. Even Carly has elbows. I was looking at like where her elbow cut is, and I'm like, wow, that's impressive as hell. And they don't have those big Marvel Legends style pins, plastic pins that drove me nuts. So, it looks like they look really good, to be honest. I don't have painted faces, but I'd get so upset if I got a pristine Prime and then I got like a Spike and one eye's here and the other eye's here, and like one of the derpy Ray figures. They plague the.
I'm thinking that the little gun cannon that comes out of the trailer to become a stand.
Yeah,
that arm probably is made completely out of diecast to hold Optimus up.
Yeah,
and I'm saying these are factors, and that's what I said. If I'm getting more metal in it, okay, that's helping me justify the price. That's kind of where I'm going. That's where I was kind of going at with that. Like if I find out that he weighs a third more than MP10, aces. You know what? You've at least established value in your production. So
I hope
and
so.
then
I hope he has a lot of metal in his.
So, I mean, I like my toys like I like my music.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Metal.
Okay. And then of course Pokemon. The reason, everybody knows that Takara lost Takara lost the license for Pokemon, and Pokemon is one of the biggest, if not the biggest brand in the world. And
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
And I think Takara is looking to make up money in ways like, if they were to sell this Optimus for $200, I don't think they're selling it at a loss. I think they're trying to price gouge, so when the price inevitably comes down and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" Like they're getting people like me who are the Optimus Prime diehards. They're getting you guys, and then when the price inevitably comes down, like it has for the Coneheads, everybody's gonna have this. Oh my god, it's on sale, even though it's not really. It's the price it should have been in the first place. So they're basically gonna sell this figure. It's gonna be evergreen in the sense that they're never gonna sell it at a loss.
I think the real price should be $200, $250. So when it drops down to that, everybody's going to be happy.
So I believe a wise man has once said, "Patience saves pennies," or something like that.
But then, like you said, if it drops down to $250, that's $50 off what we're getting it for the pre-order. So you just got to be smart about it.
Yeah.
And just my quick and easy answer is yes, we're rewarding them for it, but I also want to encourage them to keep up the masterpiece line. So
yeah,
that's is it too much? Probably, but I also want to see more figures. We hardly even mentioned the Masterpiece Hound. That's one of my most anticipated figures of next year. I love Hound. I will definitely get that when it comes out, and I want to see it keep cranking along with more. So that's my answer.
Well, I was skeptical on Siege when we first got the news and I first saw the scale. I'm the first to say I was a naysayer on Siege. So
he did.
And
He
now
said
it's-
nay. He did.
I actually think I said nay on this, but
Don't say me.
and Hasbro completely won me over. So while I don't have a pre-order for this new Prime, I am eagerly waiting to see for those who do their reactions to it. So I'm not immediately on the hate bandwagon and oh my gosh, Takara, how dare you screw over your loyal fan base? If the loyal fan base gets it and they absolutely love it, then they've been rewarded.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
You know what? If the people who I really want from Takara / Hasbro is Optimus and Megatron, all the other characters I don't mind if they're third party. If that makes any sense. Like I'm cool with getting Hound third party and Mirage, but it seems like with Optimus and Megatron, I really want the official version.
And they know they can get away with it with those figures, with those characters. That's what it really boils down to.
So you're saying that Megatron must be bought no matter what the cost?
No matter the cost. Yeah. That seems like a good thing to go out on right there. There's your segue to the end of the show.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us this evening. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Before we wrap it up 100%, let's just go down the line and find out where everybody can be found. Starting off with True Star Screamer. Where can anybody find you at, buddy?
On my days off, you can find my head shoved inside fireplaces, but you can find me on the Facebooks under Dave Lutwack, on Instagram at True Star Screamer. Hopefully, I'll actually get some more pictures up before the holidays. Of course, on PlayStation Network on True Star Screamer, and pretty much every Thursday here with these fine gentlemen at the Figure Action Podcast.
Dave, you got to explain yourself. When he says fireplace, he's an arsonist. That's okay.
I thought it was a chimney sweep.
I went with arsonist. I like my answer better.
Guys, look at this gut. What do you think I'm doing? I'm doing presents this weekend. No. I fix fireplaces in my spare time. Yes.
Burning down houses, not calories.
Burn it down.
Anyway.
Joe.
Joe?
If one does want to find me, you can find me on Facebook. My name is Joe Crab. You can find me on Xbox. My gamer tag is Joe2131. Or Crab2131. I don't know. It's a name.
I think it's Crab.
You can see some of my fine pictures on the Figure Action Instagram page. I've kind of forgotten that I have my own, so that's where I'll be.
Right on. Partsformer, how about you?
If you want to find me outside the show, and why wouldn't you want to? Because I am a goddamn delight. I am Partsformer on Xbox Live. I am Partsformer on Twitter. And I'm here every Thursday night at 9. Okay, most Thursday nights at 9 Eastern.
Unless he's on vacation.
Yeah, in Disney.
Yeah, that is a good possibility. Well, I think everybody knows where to find T-Man. I think he's frozen. No, he's not frozen.
He fooled us.
Sitting really still.
You can find me at True Star Screamer. Bother him instead of me. Until after Christmas. I'll come back after Christmas. At T-Man978. No dashes, no hyphens, or none of that type of craziness. T-Man978. Wherever you want to find me at, that's where I am. Except Pornhub.
For now.
PayPal is ready.
I have a different screen name there.
Chat squad, what do you say? Should he do it?
I got 52 yeses unanimously.
No,
and for anybody that wants to know the secret on Pornhub, he's not T-Man978, just NOT T-Man978.
He's T-Man69.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, to save us from this awkwardness that I didn't cause for a change, if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook and under the name, the alias James Jordan. You can find me on Instagram as Extra Zero. You can find me on Twitter at The Original Zero. You can find me on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live as Extra Zero. And of course, you can find me here every Thursday night, unless I'm on call like last week, at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Pacific Time. Yeah, and if you like what we're doing, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you can see when we go live. I want to wish everybody out there very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. We will keep you all posted if we do a show on Thursday. That's up in the air. And if we don't, I want to wish you all a very happy New Year. We will be going strong in 2019, and we look forward to bringing you guys some more cool content. Anyway, I've been Zero, and look forward to seeing you all again next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. See ya.
Bye.
See you guys.
Peace.